You're listening to Farmer's Kitchen on Dubai Eye 103.8.
We are heading to the mall for a 5-star feed now. Anime, cartoons, inspiration, last hour. Now it's a world-class dining experience. Speaking to the people behind KATA Dubai, one who's an F&B and hospitality expert, also an author and a celebrity chef who's come up with a whole new menu. Joining us in the studio this hour, Halil Asar, Global Operations Director for My Gourmet Restaurants, and Chef Marwan Sardouk. Gentlemen, thank you for being here, especially on a Friday. I know how busy you are, both the restaurant and other projects as well. Halil, how are you today, sir?
Very good, Helen. Thank you for having us. I'm good.
Good, chef. You've left your team in the kitchen getting ready for another busy service this Friday night.
Actually, I was on leave.
Oh, are you on your holiday?
Yeah, I'm on my holidays, yes.
Well, thank you for coming. I promise not to make you work too hard. Halil, tell us a little bit about you, your hospitality career. How did you come to work in F&B?
Yeah, actually, that started in the Netherlands, as my mom is Dutch, a restaurateur and chef for herself for many years.
So you had no choice?
No choice, DNA. It's I'm spoon-fed with gastronomy. So my homework was in the wine cellar. And instead of studying my books, it was reading recipes and packages of whatever I could find.
Did you think you realised how lucky you were as a child to be surrounded by great food and great produce, or was it just something that you thought was normal?
Yeah, actually, I'm very, very fortunate with this because I didn't need to think much. So I was immediately on the right track.
Mm-hmm. It's a big thing, though, to work in hospitality. A lot of people open and close, and you've had some great success here in the region. Tell us a little bit about what you think the secret sauce is to a successful restaurant.
I think it's anticipation. I think obviously you need to focus on where you wish to do your show, and really consider a good team around you. Mm-hmm. Budget is not always the most important. It's the people, the location, and I think passion, the belief in what you want to achieve. And I think in Dubai, we're here on a great platform and stage.
Well, we are very fortunate here. We are. And I haven't talked about COVID in quite some time, rather pleasingly. But there's no getting away from what an impact that had on the hospitality industry. And we saw some people actually really thrive during that time. And unfortunately, a lot of people not survive at all. What do you think that time has taught restaurateurs about, keeping customers happy and keeping the doors open?
Obviously, for everyone, it was a couple of steps back and take a deep breath and find your patience, as many people don't have that. And realize is this work? Is this passion? Where do I do it for? I need to still put bread on the table. And how can I do this? Is this sustainable? Yeah. And everyone obviously become extra creative and challenged her or himself to do things we never thought of before. And it resulted to great success for many.
It did. And I think the UAE's got a lot to be proud of. And we think back to that time of how well we coped as a country in terms of agility, but we bounced back really quickly. We were a dining out city and we couldn't wait to be back out in the restaurant. So, chef, which brings me to you, and we're going to talk about how you guys are working together at KATA, of course, but tell us a little bit, you growing up in Lebanon, what brought you to work in food, chef?
Well, I started working as a chef on a very young age. I can tell you around 12, 13 years old.
Wow.
Long time back, my mom used to cook for my family at home, and I always loved to help my mom cutting the vegetables, cooking with her, supporting with her. And I realized later on that whatever she's cooking, I try to do it from scratch and presenting it to my family and like my mom and dad. And they were amazed with the quality of the food. And later on, they were asking me to do the food, not my mom doing the food.
She was smart, your mum. She was smart. She was like, I'll get him trained up so I can put my feet up.
Yeah, so I started doing everything at home, and I was inspired about it, and I loved what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And later on, while I was still in school, I tried to do some other jobs, working with the street food restaurants around the house. Some of them are really famous local street food restaurants.
In Beirut?
In Beirut, yes.
Which area in Beirut? Which neighborhood?
It's called Corniche El Mazra. It's a local area where there is a lot of street food restaurants. And very famous street food restaurants still now. So I try to work, even if I have to work for free, and get a very minimum wage, just for me to understand the basics and understand the way of cooking and know exactly what is the right way to do it. And I started working till I reached the 18 years old, and I got opportunity in Pachi chocolate. So
amazing.
I moved from cooking to pastry, and then I've realized I need to learn more. I start because every chef have to develop himself. It's not about only cooking in the restaurant. You always have to be up to date and check your social media or
and
read
travel,
books.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Where do you go for inspiration, chef?
Actually, I got an opportunity later in France. I work in France with Alain Ducasse.
Wow.
Yeah, I've learned a lot from pastries to chocolate to French cuisine. So it was really an inspiration. And also you learn a lot of things in life, not only about cooking. You learn a lot of things in real life.
You do, and I feel like your philosophy to food can change as you get older, depending on who you work. I mean, my goodness, a mentor like Alain Ducasse, but working internationally, meeting other people in the industry, and we're going to talk about where this has all come together now. I love how Dubai this is. We've got to have you with us. We are celebrating World Oyster Day after 3:30 today. Do you love them or do you loathe them? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on 4001.
Farmer's Kitchen on Dubai Eye 103.8.
We're enjoying a 5-star feed at Dubai Mall now, joined by not one but two of the great minds behind KATA Dubai. That's KATA. I've had a number of people saying, please spell it. We've got Halil Asar, the Global Operation Director of My Gourmet Restaurants, and Chef Marwan Sardouk joining us. Okay, gentlemen, I'm not going to lie. I had a really, really rubbish lunch today. I grabbed a turkey quesadilla and it was horrible. So this is your chance to make my tummy rumble. Chef, where do you even begin when it comes to building a menu such as the one you've created for KATA? And tell us about what your priorities were.
Okay, for KATA, it's a Japanese was always when we open a restaurant, or I would like to open a restaurant, I don't like to copy a lot of food around in the area or in Dubai or in generally in the Middle East. So the thing is, you need to step out from the competition a little and do something completely different what people are doing. And the most important thing is to keep the main flavor of the items, and you twist a little bit with it without changing the identity of the restaurant, identity of the items, and come up with something which is absolutely fantastic, and come up with a flavor that people doesn't have an idea about it
You
before.
want some surprises along the way.
So, and of course, getting this done, you need a teamwork, working with a lot of chefs, bringing people in which way you can train them, you can make sure that they are consistent in their work, and of course, training on the recipes, line build-up recipes, production, and basics is very important, because in any cuisine you can see a lot of chefs, but unfortunately a lot that doesn't have a proper basics. So you need to understand the fish, you need to understand the ingredients you're working with, you need to understand the quality, because this is something high-end quality, fresh quality you're using in your kitchen. You need to make sure
Nowhere
that you
to
need
hide.
to treat it in a very
Now, you've gone from, as you said, working internationally. You had Alain Ducasse as a mentor, and now you're a mentor to your team. What do you look for? You mentioned basics there, but in terms of attitude and personality when you're putting together your team in the kitchen at KATA?
Very good. Dubai have a lot of nationalities, not like you're working in France. In France, me personally, when I start working in France, it's more like you're working in an army. You have to be very strict, you have to be very confident, you have to work on time, by minute, by second. You have to be productive. Every day you sleep, you need to make sure that everything is done perfectly, and you're doing something else on the next day, which is you didn't do it yesterday. When I arrived to Dubai, you will deal with a lot of nationalities. You need to have different kind of way of your management style in the kitchen, where you can balance things, because most of the people, they want to work only for salary, which is, I don't want to do that, and I don't accept that.
You're talking earlier about the importance of passion, which sounds like you guys have really met there around your passion of food. So seeing someone who's got that same spark, that love.
Exactly, because everyone is looking for growth, and you want to make sure this you're delivering this to your staff, your chefs, because if they doing the same routine every day, they're not going to stay with you. They need a leader who can teach them something new every day, and they teach them the right thing to do it. This is the most important thing in the kitchen.
And you can taste that. You can taste, passion and love and enjoyment of food. Come on, I want to hear some of your favourite on the menu, Halil. In terms of what Chef and his team have put together, what are some of your favourite dishes there at KATA? You've got great views. You can see the fountain.
Yeah.
Is the food matching up to the vista?
Absolutely. I think in taste-wise, the beef tartare, Wagyu beef with truffle on fresh toasted brioche is top of my list. But on the other hand, we have a lot of surprising elements, if it's not only taste, but it's also the presentation. So one dish we call Burj Khalifa. It comes to the table with a lot of theater, and it's literally shaped in height, so in a tower shape. So it's amazing, and these are my top favorites. Yeah.
Now, you are there in Dubai Mall. You're there on the lower ground floor, as I said, fountain views. What does that mean logistically from like an operations point of view compared to a standalone restaurant? What have you had to consider, Halil?
Yeah, actually, you guys just mentioned something about having good people in, and we have actually one script, and that's a great menu guideline. So the staff, we expect everyone to know the menu by heart, but all the others are about passion, charisma, character. So we teach a lot about omotenashi. That's Japanese word for anticipating to needs. Not only anticipating to needs of the guest, but each other. So we are brought together to complement each other. Everyone with a different skill, language, or maybe a belief. And that's the fun thing about Dubai Mall. We bring the unexpected. And in life, I don't know if you agree, the most pleasant things, delightful things are unexpected. So we are here to disturb and bring something very untraditional and unexpected, and that delights and wows many of the Dubai Mall visitors.
What does KATA mean? K-A-T-A. What does it mean literally or emotionally?
Yeah. To make the story very short, it is inspired by martial art from Japan, of course, and how we translate it simply is discipline. So whatever we do is kata. If it's how you source with discipline to look for the best produce, or how to cut a slice of salmon, how to present a drink, the body language, everything is kata. So discipline and connectivity with the heart.
Well, it sounds like you guys have really found each other in terms of meeting with this passion, and my goodness, the menu looks incredible. Chef, if we're going to come this weekend, what is the one dish that you think you've had the KATA experience? If you've eaten, what?
We have a lot of dishes you need to try, because when I invite someone to the restaurant, I love to share a lot of things on the table. Halil knows that. But personally, I like the Chilean sea bass and short ribs. It's one of my favorite dishes.
I have to
because
say, the sea bass caught my eye on the menu. Anything with pickled radish, you've got a ginger sauce, it looks beautiful.
Yes, usually when you get a Japanese restaurant in your mind, you always know about sushi and sashimi, and we don't go directly to the robata or the main course. This is where we have our main course items, which can shine and can show the freshness of the ingredients that we're using in KATA.
Where were you a couple of hours ago and I was having that terrible turkey? Thank you guys so much for coming in. As I said, really value your time and your insights. KATA is there, low ground floor, Dubai Mall, brilliant fountain views, and you can have your very own Burj Khalifa. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, Helen.
If you want details, you can just send me the word eat and I will hook you up with the link. So you can head over to that menu, see what you might be eating this weekend. And if you've got any recommendations for us, get in touch. 4001 is the SMS. You can use your ARN Play app. You've got the WhatsApp too. Where are you going over the next couple of days? Anywhere you want to give a shout out to that maybe you've enjoyed recently? or maybe it's an old favourite that you deserve. I think it's a bit of love on the radio. I'll even put my voiceover voice on for you. We are marking World Oyster Day after past. First, though, it is Farmer's Kitchen with me, Helen Farmer, with James Blunt on Dubai Eye.